All right. So welcome everyone. Welcome to this time of Christ. And you see we have another label here, and that's the Miracles Healing Open Sessions. So this is combined version, you could say. So that makes it easy for you to stay if you feel like doing that, and otherwise it's all perfect. So thank you for joining today. Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, wherever you see this, however you see this. Whether you're sitting on your chair, just in your home, in your room, whether you sit in the train, whether you're in your little rocket up to Mars, whether you are just here sitting in your car listening, or whether you are just where you are, it all doesn't matter. So thank you for your at least your attempt to join here. That's wonderful. Thank you. So yeah, miracles healing, time of Christ. What an incredible combination, and so very useful. Today we have first like a meditative moment. That is always an essential part in the miracles healing meetings, and also in the time of Christ, because we're calming down our concepts and calming down everything for a moment, except our urge to be in God communion, to be consciously aware of our union with God. And so yeah, that is the practice, and that's what we do. So we used part of lesson 123 of A Course in Miracles, which has everything to do with gratitude. So that was just the way I stepped out of my bed this morning, you could say. It's like, oh my God, I can't believe this. How lovely. Oh, listen to this song. It's beautiful. And so this song of the universe is really what is coming to us in a hymn for gratitude, a hymn of gratitude for the light, a hymn for thanksgiving, as it is said in the Course, a hymn for thanksgiving to the light, to the creator of light. I love that. So that's really great. So at the end of this session, we're going to listen to that too. That kept me busy for a couple of hours today, because it was just like, oh, I love to give this away one way or another. Let's see what comes up and what opens up to share this. And something beautiful appeared. So that's wonderful. Now, after that, I'll see you after that. And then I introduce the subject of our miracles healing is interesting, of course. Can AI, artificial intelligence, become conscious? And what needs to happen before you can even look at that question? So that's for later, because there's like a huge discussion going on in the science and the science buildings in looking at artificial intelligence, having the hopes that it can make consciousness. Wow, that would be great. So that's for later. Great. It's going to be so much fun. So this is fun too, because it really brings you down to yourself. And you can be as conscious yourself to, say, experience your divine origin. And so that's what we do. I'm going to start with that. Open up some sheets for you to take a look at these lessons. I will read it to you because it's really lovely. So sit back and relax. You made it, you're here. We're going to deeply, deeply sink into our thankfulness today. So, thank you so much for joining. Be glad today in loving thankfulness. Your Father has not left you to yourself, nor let you wander in the dark alone. Be grateful He has saved you from the self you thought you made to take the place of Him and His creation. Be grateful He has saved you from the self you thought you made to take the place of Him and His creation. Give Him thanks today. Give thanks that He has not abandoned you and that His love forever will remain shining on you, forever without change. Give thanks as well that you are changeless, for the Son He loves is changeless as Himself. Be grateful that you are saved. Be glad you have a function in salvation to fulfill. Be thankful that your value far transcends your meager gifts and petty judgment of the one whom God established as His Son. Today, in gratitude, we lift our hearts above despair and raise our thankful eyes, no longer looking downward to the dust. We sing the song of thankfulness today in honor of the self which God has willed to be our true identity in Him. Today we will smile on everyone we see and walk with lightened footsteps as we go to do what is appointed us to do. Give thanks as well that you are changeless, for the Son He loves is changeless as Himself. Be grateful that you are saved. Be glad you have a function in salvation to fulfill. Be thankful that your value far transcends your meager gifts and petty judgments of the one whom God established as His Son. Hymn of Thanksgiving for the Light. Every voice has a part in the song of redemption, the hymn of gladness and thanksgiving for the light to the Creator of light. Throughout the sonship is the song of freedom heard in joyous echo of your choice. Listen and see if you remember an ancient song you knew so long ago and held more dear than any melody you taught yourself to cherish since. Accept the vision that can show you this, and not the body. You know the ancient song, and you know it well. Nothing will be ever as dear to you as is this ancient hymn of love the Son of God sings to his Father still. The song of freedom, which sings the praises of another world, brings to it hope of peace, for it remembers heaven. The sight of Christ is all there is to see. The song of Christ is all there is to hear. The hand of Christ is all there is to hold. There is no journey but to walk with Him. Hear then the song your brother sings to you, and let the world recede, and take the rest his witness offers on behalf of peace. What is heaven but a song of gratitude and love and praise by everything created to the source of its creation? Where sin once was perceived will rise a world which will become an altar to the truth, and you will join the lights of heaven there and sing their song of gratitude and praise. For no one hears the song of heaven and remains without a voice that adds its power to the song and makes it sweeter still. Nothing you undertake with certain purpose and high resolve and happy confidence, holding each other's hand and keeping step to heaven's song, is difficult to do. Salvation's song will echo through the world with every choice they make. I give you thanks for what my brothers are, and as each one elects to join me, the song of thanks from earth to heaven grows from tiny scattered threads of melody to one inclusive chorus, from a world redeemed from hell and giving thanks to you. We sing the song of thankfulness today in honor of the self which God has willed to be our true identity in Him. The eyes of Christ look past time and see eternity as represented there. He hears the sounds the senseless busy world engenders, yet He hears them faintly, for beyond them all He hears the song of heaven and the voice of God more clear, more meaningful, more near. Those who hear His words have heard the song of heaven, for these are the words in which all will merge as one at last. The song of our rejoicing is the call to all the world that freedom is returned. The time is almost over, and God's Son has but an instant more to wait until his Father is remembered. Dreams are done, eternity has shined away the worlds, and only heaven now exists at all. We spend this day together, you and I, and all the world joins with us in our song of thankfulness and joy to Him who gave salvation to us and who set us free. Thank you so much for joining in the meditation. It's so great to sink deeply in thankfulness. So was it with the expressions that I found to share in this, say, hymn of thanksgiving. And that's just wonderful. It's just amazing. Like all this came from a course, but it's like it's all given. And it's all related to sound, to the song of heaven. Like the origin of music that we use isn't like another attempt, in fact, to come to that depth of experience so that you can literally leave time and space behind in order to be completely in a love experience, completely in, say, melting in your gratitude. So that's the invitation in the shared, and it was successful. I listened to it. I melted into my gratitude for what is going on. And you are a whole part of that. So thank you for everything. Thank you for, you have no idea. It's like everything is given to us and recognized. When you recognized the love for your brother and your love for God, it is everything. So that's a great inspiration, or that's literally where the flow is, or where the connection is experienced, where the communication is going on. All the rest is all, say, on the surface of your consciousness, considerations, doubts, that's, and you sink a little bit below this level where you experience your existence, and it doesn't take much to actually come in touch with some sense of gratitude. So, yeah, practice it. It's great. It's great to say thank you. It's great to smile to everyone you meet, like, hi, hello. So yeah, don't hold back. Why not? Why would you hold back? It's like, bring some light in this dream of yours. Just bring some light in, instead of bringing in all the darkness and repeating that darkness and repeating that darkness and repeating that darkness. Like, that's, you did it. Okay. It was nothing. Let it go. Now here's the new step. Now bring in light. You're going to be present here, consciously present, in the recognition who is your savior, in the recognition who is your source. You're so happy, like you're deeply, deeply, deeply touched by the idea that your source is not separate from you. That's a great relief. That is fantastic, because you thought in your unconscious living this, you thought that you could be separate. And nothing happened. Absolutely nothing happened. So that crazy idea is just released and is gone, and never was. So are the consequences. They will fade out, so to speak. They will fade out by you not bringing them back in, validating them, pinning them down in time and space, and confirming them to yourself, No, release them. This is the practice. Release, undo, let go. No, don't bring it in. Let go. Let go. Don't validate it. Don't pin it into time and space. Don't do any of these things. Like, save yourself the trouble. And this is something that you learn to do, because we do a mind training in which you actually learn to do that. And you become very precise in, it's like, oh yeah, I don't want to make that real. No, I forget about it. I release it right here. I don't want an answer to the question I was just asking. I don't want an answer to that. No, I want to go beyond the questions that I have and recognize my true identity. So this is wonderful. It's really great, and opening up more and more and more. It makes things so easy and so clear. So here's one thing, and that's for today then. We have probably 20 minutes to do this, because there's, besides the topic of today, the Conscious AI, question mark, exclamation mark, we also have the presentation of the ones that are moved by music, putting this into form, into art, into movement, color, vibration, articulation. So that's later. So first, like I said, Conscious AI. Question mark, exclamation mark. So I'll bring some of these sheets up with some ideas. It's just really fun. Do I need to do something first? Yeah, probably. Well, we're going to really do this. It's like we go to the idea, what is consciousness? What is artificial intelligence? What is, and so on. So this is a picture. Conscious AI, question mark, exclamation mark. Conscious artificial intelligence, like that's a huge discussion right now in science, in technology, in all the facets that are actually looking at, are we actually able to make something that is conscious? Are we creating a monster? Are we doing this? Are we doing that? It's like it's raising more questions than that there will be answers. And that sounds very familiar. Here we go. Consciousness. It is from the Wikipedia. Like a human being would look at a definition about consciousness in the Wikipedia. So here we start. Consciousness, at its simplest, is awareness of states or objects either internal to oneself or in one's external environment. If there was such a thing. Consciousness, at its simplest, is the awareness of states or objects, either internal to oneself, like you're aware that you are aware. You're aware of your surroundings. That's what we call awareness, consciousness, in human terms. Artificial intelligence, AI, is the capability of computational systems to perform tasks typically associated with human intelligence. So this is the artificial intelligence. It's like your little mechanical slave, digital slave that can do things for you that you don't have to do any longer. And this goes from automatic translation to fulfilling surgery to making cars to whatever. Giving answers to questions that you have. All of this. And that's expanding. Artificial consciousness, also known as machine consciousness, synthetic consciousness or digital consciousness, is consciousness hypothesized to be possible for artificial intelligence. It's a hypothesis. It's not a fact. It is an hypothesis. Can a robot, I just put it in simple words, can a robot become conscious of itself? Okay, Conscious AI. What is Conscious AI? Conscious in the context of AI generally refers to subjective experience, the what it's like factor, the inner feeling like the redness of red or the pain of a stubbed toe. What is it like to experience that? That's what here in the definitions are being said as a subjective experience. Self-awareness, the ability to understand oneself as a distinct entity with an inner life and a sense of existence, and basically a sense of separation in human terms. All right. Well, this is the warming up. This is like the basic thing. Now, I want to bring this in just as an idea to work with, which is interesting in a sense, like the awareness and the consciousness, the conscious awareness of oneself. Now the question was, does a robot know that he's a robot? They're like, no, the robot doesn't know. Does a human being really know who he is? It would be the first question for me to ask if we start to discuss artificial intelligence and conscious AI. I would first suggest to ask the question, is a human being conscious of who he truly is? And that it's like, no, a human being is not able to be aware of who he truly is. If he becomes aware of who he truly is, he isn't a human being anymore. Like he recognizes he is not a human being. So he is the Christ. At the time of Christ, he is the Christ. Christ consciousness. Christ consciousness. He is Christ consciousness. He never was what he thought he was. So here's the interesting thing then, and this makes everything really simple in the discussions. Like, what are you discussing in the first place? Like, you want to create something that is alive, that can be consciously alive. Now, is that possible? See, that is a really interesting question, not to have the immediate answer, but to look at oneself. Like, let's think about, am I actually aware of who I am? Am I aware of my Christ consciousness? Am I aware that I was created out of love, like a whole part of God who created me? Am I aware of that? If I'm aware of that, I would not be here. I would not have to ask these questions. So these questions are entertainment for the human mind, because you will not find an answer to it. You will not understand why you are here. You will not understand who you truly are. You cannot understand it. So, like I said, it is more like this literally gives the opportunity. That's why you should be part of the discussion if you want to. Not that anything needs to be discussed, but it's like you you can be part of the discussion because you know more. You know that you are not who you think you are. You know that you cannot create in your own likeness. God did create in his own likeness. But you cannot do that as a human being, because a human being doesn't know who he truly is. Within that construct, there's a limitation, and a huge limitation, because it thinks it's separate from everything else. So here's some interesting, since we were talking about singular subjective experience yesterday, which is the true experience of your beingness. Here it is like the subjective experience that we're talking about here is what is it like to stub your toe, or what is it like to see red roses, or what do red roses smell like, or something like this. Like that is a superficial experience, in fact. So the singular subjective experience I was sharing about yesterday is what is it like to be a Christ consciousness. It's like that is only an interesting question to a human being, because it wants to know what it is like, but it doesn't want to experience it in totality. And an inner life, consciousness in the context of AI, also has about a self-awareness. I was talking about that. And then the inner life, having thoughts, feelings, and the capacity to reflect on one's own existence, not just simulate them. So the scientific debate says, the optimists say, believe consciousness is an emergent property of sufficient complexity. Well, that sounds interesting. If a system is complex enough and has the right functional organization, consciousness will arise. They believe there are no fundamental technical barriers to creating it eventually. So that's something else. Well, the skeptics say, they argue that consciousness requires biological components, the specific chemistry and processes of a living brain, and cannot simply arise from computation on silicon. Does a human being know who he is? Will your robot ever love you? Is this another hallucination? Is my robot ever going to love me? That's the main question, maybe, of say many of the ones that are living together as like man and wife, man and man, wife and wife. It's like, does my partner love me? That would be the same question. Does he love you? And then it's like, well, does a human being know what love is? Does anyone actually know what love is? Do you know what love is? It's like, the thing I'm trying to convey here is this, is like the fundamental questions within the confusion of the human brain, of human mind, is sufficiently confusing that the thing that happens is there are more questions. It doesn't question itself. Looking at someone else's questions, looking at technology questions before doing anything. Like I did it myself too, of course. It's like, the thing is, first you have to look at yourself. First you have to look at, to come into the experience of the love that you are, before it makes sense to, you wouldn't want to discuss it, but then it would make sense to discuss it, because then you have a reference point. I am in an experience of love. Now, is that love? No, that's not love. No, that is not love. You know, like this. It's like, first you have to come in touch with yourself in order to be able to take a look at anything. So this is the interesting thing that came up for me with looking at what science is taking a look at within AI, like, will a robot love me? And I know that people are thinking about that. It's like people are thinking about how would it be to have a robot as a partner? How would it be to have a robot in your house doing all the things for you? Like, so the imagination, say, encourages people to invest incredible amounts of money into something that also will not satisfy, because it is a temporary distraction of the one thing that you should do, and that is go within yourself. Stand still. Who are you? Come in touch with yourself. Go within and quiet down all your concepts. Quiet down the whole discussion for yourself. Let it be revealed to you who you are, instead of trying to figure it out with your human brain, with your human mind, with your human limitations, only coming with more questions and not any clarity at all. So this goes on and on and on. And you see, like, there's one new subject. Now this is hot. Conscious AI. That's hot. It's like, okay, that's great. Now I can put my attention to that. And I still don't have to look at myself. What is next? Oh, this, and that, and that. All perfect distractions. It's like, just as long as I'm not here present, as long as I don't have to be present here, I'll keep myself busy. And look at the world. It's really interesting to me. It's like, look at the world. There's so much. It's like so much bombs are being made, so much defense is set up, so much training, or in case this happens, and in case that happens, and in case that happens, and technology. And now we're trying to do this in medical science. We try to do that. Well, did you solve any of the problems here? Like, no, of course not. So, and on and on and on. Like, but it is like, everywhere where you can project your ideas upon and make that grow outside of you for future use. Might use it, might not use it. It doesn't even matter. As long as you can put your energy and attention there. The one thing that you don't have to do is being present here. So this is like, bless you, miracles healing, meditators, contemplators, light workers, like, bless you. You save time so incredibly by not doing that, by standing right still right here and recognizing, in this moment everything is given to me. Thank you, God. Thank you for everything that is happening right here, right now, within my consciousness. Everything is given for what I need. Do I need to create a robot, or a conscious robot? Well, I didn't get that instruction this morning. Now, the instruction this morning was sit back and relax and allow this thankfulness to completely flow over you. So I followed the instruction, and it was so fulfilling. It's complete and whole and perfect. And it's like, wow, this is great. I want to give that away in some kind of way. So this is really something else. How beautiful is that? Simple. So it's like, you just have to know the sequence. You have to know the sequence. What needs to happen first before I do anything? I have to be in touch with this moment. That's in fact the simplicity of salvation. If you are not in touch with this moment, what do you expect to happen from any action that you seem to be doing somewhere else, pointed or projected into a future? Like, what what would that bring you? Can it have anything? No. So that's why I shared the question too. Does a human being know who he is? No, he doesn't know who he is. Does he want to find out? No, rather not. No, he's investing big time in not finding out who he truly is, because he thinks like, oh my God, let's not take a look at that. I'm not so sure what I am. I hope nobody can see it. But it's like this. There's a serious, like a totally serious paranoia connected to self-inquiry and looking at yourself. That brings up like the deepest fear. That really could be called a paranoia, to stand still and actually take a look at what is going on. And so yeah, this is where you go through in your awakening. You go through these phases where you recognize, I have difficulty looking within. I'm not sure if it's all that well when I look within. I have some secrets there, I have something there, some memories there. I'm like, that doesn't seem to be too attractive to go within. Let's just not. Or why not? What do I have to lose anyway? I don't feel well. I don't feel well anyway. I might as well just start taking a look at what is going on and what is really within me. It cannot be what I think it is. So hopefully there's something good in there where I can be in touch with, something real to base my experience on. And luckily there is. Like I said, it is gratitude that boils up, like bubbles up within yourself, recognizing, wow, what a relief, what a relief. Everything is given in this moment, and it looks like this right now. So thank you for your presence here, for the incredible amount of time you have saved by just taking part in this for half an hour. Prevented you from making time. Like you saved yourself at least 100 years by just taking this half hour to listen to this. So that's so lovely. Now you're inspired to save more time, I hope. That would be wonderful. So go within, take time. It's the most natural thing to do in your experience of yourself.